The Chicago Cubs just made a trade that could have a huge benefit on them for the upcoming season. Guys, let's break it down right after this. What's up, C3 fam? It's your boy Mike Jones back with another episode of the Chicago Cubs Central. And yes, guys, I am here to break it down for you and talk about it. I've been teasing it and teasing it. It seems like for the longest of time, I've been talking about the Chicago Cubs potentially trading for Ryan Presley. Well, guys, it is official. The Chicago Cubs are trading for Ryan Presley. The deal includes Chicago paying 8.5 I'm sorry, the Chicago Cubs will pay $8.5 million of Ryan Presley's $14 million contract, and they will give up a Class A pitcher in Juan Bello and send him to the Astros. Astros are covering some of Presley's contract, which is great for the Chicago Cubs. Obviously, we didn't want to have to cover that whole $14 million because you wanted to have money left over to continue making moves. And just that, the Chicago Cubs are doing just that right now. They are still out there, reportedly still seeking other bullpen depth for this team. Guys, I cannot tell you how excited I am. That feels like the Chicago Cubs got their guy. Like I said, it's not a bad deal whatsoever. The Chicago Cubs got their guy, and they got him at a decent price. We struck out on Tanner Scott. We struck out on other pitchers, but we were able to get this to get this done with Presley. And again, like I said, I'm very excited for this deal to come. Please, guys, in the comment section, go ahead and comment. What are your thoughts on the Chicago Cubs making a trade for Ryan Presley with the Astros? You have two Astros players now on your team. What's up, Alex? Alex said they got him for 8.5 million. Not bad. Let's give more. Absolutely, Alex. I agree with that 1,000%. And the rumor out there is the Chicago Cubs are not done adding to this bullpen. They have right now, as of right now, $216 million committed. They have quite a bit of room still left to make some deals, guys, and to make some moves. I've seen people say that they still want to see the Chicago Cubs go out and trade Nico Hoerner to go get starting pitching. I've also seen guys say that they want to still go out there and try to get Alex Bregman. That deal is still reportedly being out there as well. Let me go right here. We got a comment here. Donald said, amazing. How long did they get Ryan for? Ryan is 1 year. He is a rental deal. I know. People are going to get upset as soon as I say that. I apologize ahead of time. Yes, Ronald is a rental, 1 year rental deal that they got him for. He's in the last year of his contract. He was with the Astros and now with the Cubs, but you did not have to pay his full contract. Again, the Cubs really maneuvered in this one. They wheeled and dealed in this one. Honestly, guys, like I said, Jed Hoyer, for as much as we want to give him crap, and deservingly so, and for as much as people have talked about how cheap this organization is, which the ownership group is not known for spending money, let's just be honest about it, they have made some amazing moves this offseason, including grabbing Kyle Tucker, and then after that, grabbing some much needed closer depth with adding Ryan Presley to this deal. Like I said, it's just one of those things where we're gonna have to look and see. Now, there was rumors out there that Presley would only waive his contract or his no trade clause if he was guaranteed the closer spot. Now, I don't know if that's true. We also know, like I said, the Cubs will never come out and say that for sure, but it is assumed as of right now that the Chicago Cubs are going to use Ryan Presley as a closer on this team. Like I said, it is presumed that he will be the closer for the Chicago Cubs for this coming season. And again, he is a great closer, guys. I understand that he's an older guy, and a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, well, he's older. His velocity has went down. He's not able to hit triple digits anymore." Listen, at the end of the day, you wanted to get some seasoned closers in here, or some seasoned pitchers in here that can really show you what you need, or really provide for you what the Cubs need. And again, I really think that this was a great move. It's something that had to be done. After striking out on guys like Tanner Scott, after striking out on other pitchers, I think that this was something that had to be done. We had to get a closer, guys. We had to get somebody that we know can go and lock down and shut down innings for us. And guys, I ain't gonna lie, y'all are killing me in the comments right now. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Let's get involved. Let's get to these comments, y'all. I'm gonna talk with you. Oh, I already answered this one, Donald. They got him for 1 year. And then we go there. Yeah, Doug says, great deal. I agree, Doug. I agree. From there, Goofy Goober says, what's the next deal in your opinion? Honestly, I would say the Chicago Cubs are either looking at potentially adding another starting pitcher, or they're going to look to potentially add some more depth in the bullpen. Guys, I've read multiple reports that have said that they are not done by any means trying to add to this bullpen. The bullpen was the weakest link last year for the Chicago Cubs, the bullpen and hitting. And when the hitting was on and they were scoring runs, they then had a bullpen that would come into the game and give up leads. So I think for Jed Hoyer, he is trying his hardest to lock down the bullpen this year. We are not done yet adding more bullpen pieces. I mean, like I said, and nothing is being taken for granted right there. I think they're going to continue to add as long as they can. Let's look at this next one. Donald said, can the Cubs extend Ryan? Absolutely. Absolutely. The Chicago Cubs can offer him a contract. They can try to extend him. I would wait. If it were me, I would wait and see how things go. You really want to see how this season goes. You don't want to extend him or offer him money. And the Chicago Cubs, for what it's worth, aren't known for doing contracts in the middle of the season, especially Jed Hoyer. He's just not known for negotiating and signing those deals. He has done it occasionally, but a lot of times this organization likes to wait until the offseason to make those deals happen. So this is something else that I believe they're going to end up doing. I'm pretty sure they will see how the season plays out. Again, let's just say, worst case scenario, God forbid, don't kill me in the comments. Let's say the Cubs don't pan out this year. You have multiple pieces you can trade for teams that would love to have a closer like Ryan Pressly on their roster if they are more headed towards or have a better shot than you at headed towards the World Series or headed towards the postseason. So let's just see what happens there. But it's a great trade chip as well. Let's look here. Rob Antle says, keep as many gold glovers as you can, in my opinion, unless they expect strikeout pitchers being a bigger part of the staff going forward. Yeah, I mean, no, I'm right there with you, Rob. Listen, let me tell you something. You want to have the very best that you can defensively out there. Here's the thing. The Cubs, and for all intents and purposes, Jed Hoyer, really believe Matt Shaw's ready. He's big league ready. His glove is ready. His bat is ready. He can come and he can contribute this season. If that is the case, if they believe that he can contribute this season right now, then I mean that does make Nico expendable. Now again, it's going to be difficult to try to trade Nico Hoerner, considering the fact that he is injured right now. I mean, we have seen, I don't know if you guys have seen the videos on X of him. He's already in Mesa, Arizona. He's already taking ground balls, doing scooping throws, everything like that. I mean, I don't know Nico's health status as far as the Tokyo series, the Japan series is still up in arms. Nobody knows exactly where he will end up, if he will be playing or not. We'll just have to see. But I'm sure closer to the date, hopefully they will tell us something. Hold on, y'all. All right, let's go to the next one. See what we got here. Alex says, I would like to see a big bat and an ace who has swing and miss potential. Mike, who out there with money left would you would sign or trade for? So, honestly, guys, I was looking at Dylan Cease as somebody that I believe I would try to trade for. I like what Dylan Cease brings as a pitcher. I think that he still has a lot left in the tank, and I think that him coming back and doing a reunion with the Chicago Cubs would be huge. I think that he would have he would be a great starting pitcher for us, and he would be somebody that, again, I've always said since I've started working on this channel, y'all. I've always been under the impression that I want to take as much pressure off of Justin Steele and off of Shota Imanaga as possible. They buried the load or bore the load of the Chicago Cubs last year, starting pitching wise. And again, I worry, and I know people have killed me before in the comments about this. I'm concerned Shota might not have the exact same success that he had last year. There's a lot more tape on him now, a lot more MLB tape on him now. And I mean, his stuff is nasty, and I think that he had a great season last year. I just don't know if I expect him to be as dominant this season as he was last season, but we'll just have to see about that. Y'all, we got 50 people watching right now. Guys, if you have not already, please like, share, subscribe to the network, guys. Join the C3 fam with me. Like I said, we appreciate you guys. Let's see. We got Eric says, don't trade Nico. Hey, man, listen, I'm Eric. I hear you. I hear you. And there's a wide variety of people out there that agree with what you're saying. Do not trade Nico Hoerner. Here's my thing. If it can net you a pitcher like Cease, or if it can net you somebody like Lopez, I think that that's something that you have to look at. That's just something that you have to do. Also, somebody else that I am I'm very high on, that I think the Chicago Cubs really should give a look at, and now he doesn't have to be a closer at all. So you're looking at right now potentially having Presley be your closer, Porter Hodge be your setup man, and then you could literally strut out in the seventh inning somebody like a Jensen, that if you sign him, and you could sign him for cheap as well, and then literally you got, like I said, your seventh, eighth, ninth guy already locked down. I just think that that's something that you can definitely benefit from if you are the Chicago Cubs. Let's see what we got here. How many saves do you think we get this year? Hard telling, man. Like I said, I think I definitely think that Presley will come into play in a lot of those close games, because Chicago Cubs played way more close games last season than I really wish they would have. But I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like I said, I just hope that he can lock down more saves than what we had last season, because again, last season we were awful with that. Rob says, on days the wind blows in, you have to keep the ball on the ground. Mostly when that happens, you need a great infield. Absolutely, 100%. Here's the thing. I'm only saying you. Okay, maybe I'm not making myself clear. So one thing that I will say to you guys, I'm trading Nico Hoerner if you know Alex Bregman is going to be your third baseman, because then you move Matt Shaw over to second base, and you still have one of the most talented infields in the game. Now, again, everything is relative. It's all about what Bregman is willing to sign for. Remember, the Cubs right now have $216 million accounted for. About 240 is where they could spend. So the Cubs essentially do still have a great deal amount of money, even after trading for this closer, to go out and still sign somebody like Alex Bregman and potentially add on another pitcher or two. The Cubs have the money to do this. It all depends on what Alex Bregman is offering and what he's looking for. If you cannot get Alex Bregman, then you keep Nico and you put Matt Shaw at third. Like I said, I mean, either way, you have an elite infield, and I think that you're going to have a lot of success with this infield. So again, it's what you can get Alex Bregman or not. That, like I said, because his bat is elite, and you want that. Let's see here. We got next. Alex says Stanek set up in the 8th. Signed Stanek. Now listen, I have heard about him too. I have heard that the Cubs all have potentially talked with him as well, and that is something that they could potentially look to smooth towards as well. So I believe right now it's the Mets and it's the Cubs that are in on talking to him as of right now. So like I said, it's just one of those things that I mean, it could potentially happen or it could not happen. It just really depends on where he chooses to go. But he is a good pitcher too. He's a very good choice. That's a good thought process right there. All right, so Doug says need a top starter. Doug, I agree with you. Right now, what we have: Matthew Boyd, we have Jameson Taillon, we have Shota Imanaga, we have Justin Steele, and we have Colin Rea. I mean, fine. It doesn't knock my socks off, but at the same time, I had a buddy that had a show. I don't know if that show is still out there or not. And Mike might be watching this. I don't know if he is or isn't. But they did a show called Savvy Not Sexy Sportscast Show, and literally to me, the Chicago Cubs starting rotation right now is savvy, not sexy. It can get the job done. Honestly, like I said, the Chicago Cubs will probably with that starting rotation win a good deal of games. But if you want a sexy rotation, something that pops off the page to you, I mean, you still do want to go out there and you want to grab that top starter that you know can just, like I said, can just flat out pitch his butt off for you. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. Something that really sets the Cubs apart. The moves they've made so far, the additions of Kyle Tucker, the additions of Matthew Boyd, the additions of Colin Rea, the addition of Ryan Presley, these additions, I feel like, have helped put the Chicago Cubs in the area where they now are the clear-cut favorites to win the division. Shout out if we got any Brewers fans or Cardinals fans in here, because I know y'all pissed right now. See right here. Thoughts on Flaherty. Jack Flaherty. I don't know if I've told you guys this or not. Jack Flaherty pitched for the St. Louis Cardinals for a very long time. I actually born and raised in Chicago, left Chicago when I was 19 years old to go to college in Springfield, Illinois. Springfield is at least about an hour, 30 minutes from St. Louis. So I was here in Jack Flaherty's heyday when he was literally like their best of the best of the best pitcher that they had. And I've always thought Jack Flaherty, I've always had a good admiration for him. I'll say it that way. I've always thought he has good stuff. The problem with Jack Flaherty is his health. And for a Chicago Cubs team that I say was depleted of health last season, had a lot of health issues, that's kind of why I'm hesitant, if I'm being honest with you guys. I want Jack Flaherty, but it's going to have to come at the right price, and I'm not giving him a lot of years. And there's going to be some team opt-outs in that. I don't think I give him the power to have opt-outs in that. I think Jack Flaherty has to prove that he can come and be that same lockdown pitcher that he was his first few seasons with the St. Louis Cardinals before I'm willing to really pay him what he's probably trying to get right now. I mean, for the right price, though, sure, I'll take him. Let's see what we got here. Alex says, if we can't get Bregman, get Justin Turner. Yes, Justin Turner is still out there. He still is an option. Guys, there is a long list of free agents still out there. I'm going to pull up that free agent list because it's actually a pretty long list of free agents that are still out there that have not been signed, that, like I said, that haven't gotten deals yet. And, I mean, it's actually pretty remarkable when you think about it. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at this list for catchers. Out there, there's still I'm gonna screw his name all the way up. For catchers, there's Kyle Higashioka or whatnot. I don't know how the hell you say that. Then there's Travis Denard. Danny Jansen is out there. Carson Kelly. I'm sorry. These guys all signed. My bad. Hold on. So you got Yasmani Grandal out there still. You got Elias Diaz still out there. You got James McCann still out there. Jan Gomes is still out there, but I really think Don Jan is going to end up retiring if I had to guess. Um, Luke Amali is still out there. Kurt Cassial is still out there, and then that's it. Now, as far as first baseman goes, Justin Turner, who is we were saying is a first baseman / third baseman. Connor Joe is still out there. Connor Joe wouldn't be a bad pickup either, low key. I mean, like I said, he's been a Cub killer from his time in Colorado and his time in Pittsburgh. For the right deal, I would not be mad adding Connor Joe to my bench. And having him and Michael Busch switch off on first base. That would not be a bad deal to me. Joey Gallo is still out there. Anthony Rizzo is still out there. Ty France is still out there. Jake Bowers is still out there. Yuli Gurriel is still out there. Ji-Man Choi is out there. Rowdy Tellez is still out there. And Gavin Sheets are still out there. And let's just go skip down to third baseman. So, like I said, Alex Bregman we know is the big piece for the third baseman that's still out there. Yoan Moncada is still out there. Nick Madrigal is still out there. Brian Anderson is still out there. Jace Peterson, Jock's brother, is still out there. And it looks like Luis Urias is still out there when it comes to third baseman. I mean, like I said, guys, there's still some pretty good pieces out there. So again, like I said, the Chicago Cubs still do have options. Again, if this Bregman things fall through, he goes to somebody else. I do expect the Cubs to probably trade for somebody like or not trade for somebody, sign somebody like a Justin Turner. I do think that will help the Chicago Cubs out too, especially mentoring somebody like Matt Shaw. Yes, Rob, Shaw will be at third base. Doug says keep Hoerner. Listen, man, I would keep Nico Hoerner only if I can't get a deal done with Seattle or I can't get a deal done for a starting pitcher. But if I'm getting Alex Bregman and I can get a starting pitcher, I can get some starting pitching for him, I'm probably going to trade Nico Hoerner. I know, Doug. I know you're going to hate that one. Rob says, I think Shota is the Japanese version of Maddox in the mental game aspect. That's a really good point. He said more. He said exploring all possibilities is definitely something you have to do. I agree. Again, that's what I'm saying. At this point, the Chicago Cubs, at this point, the Chicago Cubs literally do not have an option but to try to do all that they can to get better to win this season. I mean, if we're not trying to reclaim this division, we should theoretically, guys, and tell me if I'm tripping on this, the next 4 years should easily be the Chicago Cubs' year to win the division. We should win the next 4 Central Division championships. I mean, the Brewers are depending on younger guys, which they may come through. Who knows? But they also trading off a lot of their key talent or didn't re-sign back a lot of their key talent. Then you look at, somebody like Cincinnati, and I mean, Cincinnati is Cincinnati. I mean, like I said, they've gotten some good pieces, but they've also traded off some good pieces too. So, I mean, I just don't really know. And then, of course, you look at the St. Louis Cardinals. They are going into full rebuild mode. They will actually lose their general manager at the end of this season. He will retire, and then they will try to find somebody new. So I don't really know who they will find that's new. Again, Pittsburgh is Pittsburgh. They just always find a way outside of Paul Skeens to screw something up. And I'm telling y'all, he's a Dodger or a Yankee as soon as he possibly can be. Paul Skeens is not staying in Pittsburgh. If Paul Skeens stays in Pittsburgh for more than this contract and this rookie deal, I will eat crow. I will come on here and I will tell y'all I'm sorry. But I have a hard time believing he's going to stay in Pittsburgh. So the Chicago Cubs, theoretically, the next 4 to 5 years should be in contention to win this division each year. And this is what you do. You do moves like this to set yourself up. Let's see. Alex says, I like Dylan Cease trade as well. Will Hoerner and Rojas do it? I I mean, I would say it gets done. Listen, one thing about San Diego that people aren't taking into account is they don't want to pay all the money they're paying. That's why they're trying to come up off of Dylan Cease, and they really were ready to trade him when they thought they were going to get Roki Sasaki. Because Roki would come at a cheaper price than what Dylan Cease would be. Now here's the issue: Dylan Cease does have 2 years on his deal, but the Chicago Cubs, they're making a lot of these trades and a lot of these deals, and we're excited about it because they're doing all of this stuff. But at the same time, y'all, we got to remember something. You got to pay all these dudes next year. After next year, like we finna have a hell of a fun 2025 season, and then we got to turn around and pay all these people, man. So we got to think about that too when we get all excited about these trades. You know, like I said, we just traded for Presley. We have to re-sign him or figure out or restructure a contract deal with him. Obviously, the big one in the room is Kyle Tucker. You know, and I mean, if we end up trading for Bregman or signing Bregman, if he does end up signing with the Cubs, I mean, if he signs on a 1 or 2 year deal, we're going to turn around and pay him again too. So these are all deals we have to think about. But yeah, no, I think Hoerner and Rojas would probably get the Dylan Cease trade done for the Padres. Honestly, if you're asking me, see what's here. But if you value, you get back. But if the value you get back isn't enough and you want to win now, don't trust Shaw. You keep him. I mean, yeah, per se. Like I said, hey, let's go, y'all. We hit 81 people in the chat right now, guys. Listen, if you have not already, please smash that subscribe button. We are steadily trying to get to 2,000 subscribers on this channel. I hope you guys are tuning in. Please join in the conversation. Be a part of the C3 fam along with everybody else. We're having a blast in here, y'all. This is great. Thank you guys so much for joining in. I'm going to keep on reading these comments. Let's talk about it. Lonnie says, Chicago, share, support, subscribe, smoke that like button. Hey, I appreciate you, Lonnie. Thank you. Any word on Cade Horton's injury and rehab? Cade Horton, from all intents and purposes, he was at the Cubs Con, and he said that his main plan is to get a seat on the plane. He wants to be able to come up to the majors this year and make it happen for the Chicago Cubs. He wants to be able to be somebody that can help this team win. So, like I said, I haven't heard anything whether or not he'll be ready to go at the beginning of the season or not. But again, I do suspect at some point this season we will see Cade Horton playing pitching for the Chicago Cubs, maybe coming out of the bullpen. We'll just have to see about that. Rob also commented, Taillon had a solid year. Maybe he benefited from the wind blowing in the most of all pitchers last year, but I don't know if I trust him having a similar year. Hey, listen, again, that's why I'm all in for. Okay, so that's why I'm all in for trading Nico Hoerner, y'all, because some of the stuff that happened last season was the wind knocking the ball down and keeping some of them home runs in the park. Now, granted, we did see some superb pitching from the Chicago Cubs, who also pitched a no-hitter last year, but at the same time, some of that stuff was luck, and you can't count on the win being the factor again this year to keep the Chicago Cubs in ball games. So, like I said, you're gonna have to have your pitchers do some work. Also, I don't know if y'all saw it or not. I follow Jameson Taillon on social media, and again, guys, like I said, he's been in the lab all summer. I think he's really trying to come back and have a very strong season for the Chicago Cubs, which I'm all about. I'm thankful that he's putting in the work. I'm thankful that he's doing what he's doing. And again, I think that it'll show. I mean, yeah, Doug, you ain't wrong on that. Let Shaw prove himself. Keep Nico Hoerner till he does. I mean, listen, that's also a thing. You can't start the season with Nico Hoerner. There's nothing that says you have to trade Nico Hoerner at the beginning of the season. Let him rehab. Let him come in. Let him play some second base once he's fully healthy. And let's see where we're at by the trade deadline. I don't know if you guys watched that recap episode that I told you to watch. But on the one where Jed Hoyer was being interviewed, he did indicate that that ownership has told him if the Chicago Cubs are in play to win the division and make a postseason push, close to the trading deadline. He does have the green light to make a move at the trading deadline as well. So again, not every move. If the Chicago Cubs team that we see right now is what we start the season with, that does not mean that that's the team that's going to be here all season long. That does not mean that at all. We'll just have to see. Alex said I would have had I think he means Merriweather 6, Hodge 7, Stanek 8th, and Presley closing out in the 9th. That's not a bad plan right there either, Alex. I'm not gonna lie to you. Alex also said, ew, my starting 5, 1 Cease, 2 Steele, 3 Imanaga, that's hilarious. 4 I think you meant Tyone, not tailbone, but I mean it's all good. And then your 5th, you look at Boyd, Rhea, Assad, Wicks, Brown. Think about that, y'all. Wicks, Assad, Rhea, Brown are all starting pitchers technically, and those guys are pretty much probably going to end up being in our bullpen. A lot of them. Wicks, I would say, send down to AAA. He was he did not look to me like he got his stuff back last year. He should be in AAA this year. And then you can use him as a trade chip if things just don't pan out. Assad, definitely want him in my bullpen. He can eat up innings. Brown, I could see him in my bullpen eating up innings if these guys can't go long. Rhea is a good pitcher. He's a good pitcher. And then Boyd is a good pitcher as well. But I would not mind having all those 5 that everybody you got listed right here on number 5. I would not mind having all of those guys in my bullpen. Just put all those guys in my bullpen. And, like I said, and okay, so maybe have Matthew Boyd be my 5th day starter. And then from Rhea, Assad, Wicks, Brown, have all those guys. I would not mind that at all. Connor Joe for Bush backup. Yo, listen, let me tell y'all something. I love Connor Joe. I hate Connor Joe when he's playing for the other team because it always seems like he seems to kill the Cubs. Even last year when he was playing for Pittsburgh. Hold on, Big Kev just texted me that the Chicago Cubs just traded for Presley, and I'm telling him I'm on live right now. What up, Kev? I just told him to join in if he won't. I'm just talking to y'all, reading these comments. Hope you guys are having a good time with me. I haven't done a lot of these lives yet. When the season starts, I actually do plan to do more lives. I want to. On the channel, we're known for going live on the network, the Chicago Central Sports Central Network. We're known for going live before and after games. But I ain't gonna lie to y'all. The Chicago Cubs season starts in Arizona, and the games don't start till 9:00 at night, and I'm having a hard time. I mean, I'm having a hard time believing I'm gonna be able to stay up and do that. But we're gonna have to see about that. I am dedicated, and like I said, I want to rock with y'all because y'all been rocking with your boy, man. I appreciate all the love and all the support. Get Rizzo to cover for Bush for injuries and to mentor. Crone said that. Crone's problem with that is they are both left-handed hitters. And so, like I said, it's gonna be an issue with that. So I don't really know. I don't really know about that one. Actually, Crohn's, I said the same thing. I did a whole episode about that, and somebody else called me out in the comments like, bro, you can't have 2 left-handed first basemen. Like, you need, if you're gonna get somebody to play first base, you probably want to get a righty. So again, we're all learning together, folks. We're all learning together. Alex said, I mean Tyone. Yes, sir. Get on that subscribe button. Mike Jones is legit. I appreciate you, homeboy. Continue the good work. Alex, my man, much love, much appreciation. Y'all, we got 89 in the chat right now. I appreciate all of you that are watching this episode right now. It is beyond me that you guys are tuning in to talk to your Talk Cubs with your boy. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button and leave a comment. Yeah, like I said, guys, we in here. Let's see what else we got. Oh, I appreciate that, Rob. He says, yeah, Hayes did a great job getting you, Mike. Keep up the good work. Yo, listen, Rob, I appreciate that so much. So how it ended up happening that I ended up coming onto the show, honestly, I have been following just like y'all, Hayes on Chicago Bulls and Bears Central. And I was a fan of, honestly, just a fan of the work that they put in, and I had the equipment at the house. And as you can see behind me, I am, Chicago Bulls, Chicago Bears, Chicago Cubs fan, also a wrestling fan. If you guys haven't checked out, as soon as I get done here, I have to turn around and go to my wrestling podcast that I do as well. I do a wrestling podcast called We Book It. So if you guys could check that out on YouTube as well and on X, wherever that stuff is, guys. Listen, I got wrestling podcast for days. I am wearing the Tiffany Stratton shirt too. Shout out to Tiffany Stratton, the WWE Women's Champion right now. um, but yeah, I just messaged Hayes and I'm like, yo, Hayes, I kind of checked out the Chicago Cubs Central page and it looked like y'all could use a little bit of help with that. And then, like I said, he was like, well, actually, man, I think Big Kev is looking for somebody to help him out with the Chicago Cubs page. And from there, man, Big Kev, I gave Hayes my number. Big Kev texted me like 5 minutes later and was like, yo, like we need to link. And so it's been history since there, man. But I appreciate y'all. Real talk, man. Like I said, I do not take it for granted that y'all rock with your boy, that you watch my videos, you subscribe to the content, y'all, and y'all push out and share the content, man. I'm just out here. I'm just a avid Chicago fan like the rest of y'all. I love the Chicago Cubs. And like I said, it's a fun time, man. It's a fun time talking Chicago Cubs with y'all. I really appreciate all of you so much. Yeah, Rob. I mean, listen, I can't tell y'all how many times I messed around and forgot Matthew Boyd was signed by the Chicago Cubs. Yeah, yes, we have Matthew Boyd as well. It's crazy. It's crazy. Um, Yeah, Rob. I just text Kev. I'm talking to him now. He's like, I'm not home. I think he said he had some type of family outing or something he had to go to. So Big Kev ain't gonna be able to join us. Hold on. I'm telling them now that y'all telling them to come on in here and come kick it with us. Yeah. Alex. Yo, so I just got this. This boy is heavy too. I just got this around Christmas time. It is the WWE Undisputed Championship belt for anybody that does watch wrestling. This is the replica version. This one cost about 500, 600 once you got since it's like 600 once you pay for the shipping and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I wanted one of those bad boys for a long time, so I finally got around to getting one, and I just took advantage of it. So you know how that go. Appreciate you, Rob. Appreciate you. The Apple games piss you off. You can't watch. What you talk about, man? Oh, Chicago White Sox Central is in the building, which you know what that means. You guys know who runs Chicago White Sox Central. The homie, Big Kev, is in the building. Shout out Big Kev. He is in the building, y'all. Holler at him. Holler at your boy Big Kev in the comment section. Y'all give him a hard time for jumping on that Chicago White Sox Central. This is Cubs channel, brother. You either Cubs or you come in as Kevin. Don't make me say your full name. You come in as Cubs or Kevin. You don't come in there as a Chicago White Sox Central, brother. Oh man, y'all, we got 95 people in the chat right now. If you are in the chat and you are having a blast, if you're excited that the Chicago Cubs made a trade and we have our closer, and no, thank goodness it ain't Hector Neris. If you are thankful that our closer ain't Hector Neris, that our closer is now Ryan Presley, yo, go ahead, smash that like button, subscribe button. And leave a comment, y'all. I mean, it's a bunch of y'all in here, man. I'm in here with y'all for another couple minutes. Let's talk about it. Let's see what we got here. Alex says, have you heard the All-Star game might be in Wrigley Field for 2027? Yeah, Alex, actually I heard about that. I was at dinner with some friends 2 nights ago, and I was telling them they're avid baseball fans that like go travel to the different ballparks and stuff like that. Them tickets for Chicago Cubs for Chicago Cubs the All-Star game at Wrigley Field is gonna be nuts. Those tickets are gonna be astronomical, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a good time. Could you imagine the home run derby in Chicago, bro? Like that's gonna be nuts, man. That's gonna be crazy. I mean, if they do it in Chicago, are any of y'all gonna try to get tickets and go? Talk to me in the comments. Let me know if y'all gonna try to go. Kev's still on this White Sox stuff, man. I can't believe him coming up in here with this White Sox stuff. He says Cubs doing all the right things this season. This offseason has been immaculate. Hey, listen, I agree with you 1,010%. Also, bro, them ribs I cooked turned out finger licking good, bro. I'm telling you, amazing. But that's a side note. Let's see what else we got. Carl Young says, let's go Cubbies. Carl is hype in the chat. Yes, sir, Carl. Listen, we're in for another fun season. These Chicago Cubs are going to be one of those teams to watch. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Kev joined in as Kev. I told you, bro, you don't come in no Cubs chat with that White Sox stuff, man. You liable to get beat down up in here, brother. Carl Young says, we have our closer, Ryan Presley. Let's go, buddy. Listen, Carl, I'm telling you, man, I was hype as soon as I found out that the Cubs had made this deal, and I am super excited for it. I mean, like I said, it's been far too long that I've been this hyped for a Cubs season. I mean, every year I get the jitters and I get excited a little bit around spring training, but usually the Cubs kill that for me around April, May, close to June. But at the same time, this season, I think we're going to have some sustained success. I really feel like Jed Hoyer went out, and with the money he was given and with the stuff he was allotted to do, he's really went out and gotten virtually everybody that they wanted outside of a few. So, I mean, I don't know. Rob says the All-Star game at Wrigley, that'd be dope. Been a while. Yes, sir. It has. It has actually been a while since that happened. And again, like I said, I think that it's one of those things where the Chicago Cubs can benefit from it. And of course, our crying, whiny baby of an owner, Tom Ricketts, can break more than even when the Chicago Cubs host the All-Star weekend in Chicago. I mean, Chicago is one of the best cities, y'all, in the entire world, and nobody will ever be able to change my mind about that. There's so much to do, so much to see. You can't even take it all in a full summer. There's so many things that you have to do. And when you go to Chicago, so many different food places you have to try, so many different attractions, so many things that's there. It's one of the best cities in the world. So literally having All-Star weekend there for the MLB, I think would be huge for the MLB. It'll be huge for the game. And there's so much history at the Chicago at Wrigley Field. So yeah. What we say here. Alex says, I would love to go to the All-Star game in 2027. Listen, me and you both, brother. But if they taxing like $500 to $600 for the cheap seats, I'm gonna just watch it from the crib, y'all. I'll be on here with y'all, live calling the game. I'll be on here with y'all, live calling the game. Oh, which reminds me, Big Kev can also. Me and Big Kev was talking about it earlier, man. We gonna do some live call stuff this year too. Probably on Saturdays, for Saturday games, because those are usually 120 unless the Cubs are traveling. On those home 120 games, I can probably tell you that more than likely me and Kev will be going live, especially for the Crosstown Classic when it's Cubs White Sox. I can definitely tell you we'll probably live call those games too, and I'm gonna be draped in everything blue and red because that's how I live. Chicago Cubs all day, every day. That's my team. I don't cheer for the little brothers. that could potentially be moving. So, like I said, but again, it is what it is. But yeah, be looking out for that, y'all. You will be able to tune in if you don't want to buy the Marquee Network. You can tune in here, and I will give you play by play at least on the Saturday games, and maybe some weekday games. It just depends. I start working from home hopefully in about 3 to 4 months, and that should lighten my load up a lot this summer with being able to call games and do stuff like that for y'all too. And I'll have some more special guests on and stuff like that too. Some of my other guys. Who do y'all want me to have special guest wise on the channel? Again, this ain't just my channel, man. This is y'all too, man. This is all of us. I just host the show, but this really is the home of the Chicago Cubs fans. So, and this is y'all voice. So please let your voice be heard, whatever y'all want to hear. Carl says we need another bat. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we do. And again, Carl, that Bregman thing, that might be real. And if that's real, the Chicago Cubs projections and what they're expected to do this season skyrockets. It goes to a whole new stratosphere. So we'll just have to see about that. But yeah, that Bregman thing might come through. Can y'all tell me something? This ain't Chicago Cubs baseball, but what are the Cubs going to do? I'm sorry, what are the Blue Jays going to do if they have Vlad Guerrero and they have Pete Alonso? Like, that to me is like, okay, so both of them play first base. I understand you'll DH one, but still, like, oh, y'all, we just hit 100 people in the chat. Yo, the chat's blowing up. The chat's blowing up. 100 people watching the stream right now, y'all. Hey, listen, if you're here, go ahead, smash that subscribe button. Your boy is trying to grow this channel, man. Please hold it down for me. But yeah, y'all, in the comments, tell me what y'all think about the Blue Jays trying to get Pete Alonso and trying to get and obviously they're trying to restructure Vlad Guerrero's deal. He's in the last year of his deal. He was rumored to be another person the Chicago Cubs were looking at one point, but I think that stuff fell through. So, but yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know about that. I really don't know what to think of that Pete Alonso news. I don't know if he's just using the Blue Jays as leverage or what, but I don't know. You guys tell me. Kev says I'm a big dude. I can fight. Yeah. Listen, let me tell you something. Y'all don't want no smoke from Chicago. Kev, a real one. I don't. We ain't gonna beat him up. We ain't gonna beat him up. We're gonna be nice. We're gonna play nice. Oh, giving a shout out to Big Kev. What's up? Carl Young says I was waiting for you to come on. Listen, Carl, I appreciate you, man, for rocking with the channel, brother. I appreciate it. I appreciate you so much. David Snyder, shoes flops fans says solid move. Cubs get a solid closer and essentially give up nothing for him. Their bullpen was the weak link. Now that makes our bullpen closer to average. Yeah. I mean, like I said, the Chicago Cubs, the bullpen is a huge part of this. And like I said, it was one of those things where, I mean, we want the bullpen to be at its best, and we want the bullpen to hold down games and close games and keep it solid for us. Like I said, it's just important that they do so. So listen, I do believe Jed Hoyer ain't finished yet. I do still believe there's more moves to make. Listen, it's a long baseball season, and injuries do happen. So it's important that the Chicago Cubs close up that bullpen and do what they need to do to solidify it. So, like I said, we want to make sure that we do so. All right, y'all, I'm going to take a couple more, and then I got to jump. Dear Not says, any final word on what's going back to Houston? Yes. Houston gets Class A pitcher Juan Bello. And again, like I said, it's not from what I heard, they give up Class A pitcher Juan Bello in this deal, and obviously they take on the $14 million salary, but again, they only have to pay $8.5 million of that salary. So again, like I said, it's good. It's a pretty good deal. Alex says, but the Twins having money. Oh, sorry. With the Twins having money issues, can we get them to pay down some of Pablo Lopez's contract and trade for him? I don't think Seattle will do the same for Castillo. Yeah, no, Castillo is owed a lot of money. That deal is probably not going to happen with Castillo. I would be shocked if it does, but there have been crazier things that have happened. I don't think anybody saw us trading with Houston twice in one offseason and taking virtually their best player and their setup guy. So I mean, who knows? Pablo Lopez is a good pitcher, though. I would not mind having him in the fold for the Chicago Cubs. Alex, okay, how much after the Presley trade do the Cubs still have left to spend? So the Cubs right now are looking at around $216 million is what they is what they've spent. They have the threshold is at 240. Now again, Alex, remember, I keep telling y'all, listen, just because they have all this money, do not expect the Chicago Cubs to make the moves that will end up giving them or they'll end up spending all the way up to that 240. I do not expect the Chicago Cubs to spend all the way up to that 240. I do expect them to keep some flexibility and to be able to do something at the trade deadline. So we may see minor moves happen after this, but I don't know that we'll see another major move outside of potentially Alex Bregman. But again, I could be wrong. But hey, if I am wrong, and I hope I am, guess what? That means we get to go live again and all of us get to sit here and talk about it, right? Dearnot says Vlad was a third baseman in the minors. Yeah, I mean, so what? So what? You put Alonso at first, and you move Vlad back over to third. He's a big boy though. I don't know if he can handle that hot corner over there like that, man. That would be crazy. I don't know. Vlad would go back to third and Pete playing first. Vlad, Santander, and Alonso. Man, they would hit over 100 home runs in the season. Toronto Bombers. Yeah, hey, listen, that's what I'm saying. Toronto going to be nasty, man. If they can make that deal happen for Pete Alonso and if Vlad goes to third base, I mean, that's scary, bro. That's scary. That is scary. Rob says Chicago little bros shot fire. Hey, listen, let me tell y'all something. The Chicago White Sox are the little bros in Chicago. That's why it was no sweat off my back when Jerry Reinsdorf was trying to threaten to move the team if Chicago didn't pay for a new field to be built, which I will agree with you guys. I will agree with him. They do need a new field built, but they also need to rip down the field that they got and make all of that parking. Because let me tell y'all something. I went to Chicago, White Sox versus Chicago Cubs last year with my homie C, and we went there to the game. And I'm telling y'all, I missed 3 innings just because of traffic and trying to get to the arena. There was no traffic, no parking anywhere near the arena. It was backed up, wall to wall traffic on the Dan Ryan. I was so pissed. Like I said, I couldn't park anywhere. I missed Cody Bellinger's home run. I missed Ian Happ's home run. I missed all of that because I was sitting there parking. Then we had to park at the Technical Institute and get bussed over to the arena. I was like, man, you know what? This is stupid. And I was really upset. Really, really upset. Y'all I was really, really frustrated. But the White Sox definitely can move and leave Chicago, and it would not hurt me one single solitary bit. You know, that's just me, though. What can I say? I'm a Chicago Cubs fan. See what we got here. Bregman is the most likely addition. Vlad and Alonso are very much long shots. Oh yeah, most definitely. I don't expect Vlad or Alonso to be Chicago Cubs. I mean, Alonso, that would be cool. I wouldn't be mad about it, but I don't expect it. And then Bregman, I do think will end up being the Chicago Cubs third baseman if we do make another big splash in free agency and make that signing. And again, the Chicago Cubs, if they're going to do a deal with Bregman, it'll be for likely around 25 million for 2 years with an opt out, or maybe 3 years with 2 opt outs. Kind of similar to what the Chicago Cubs did with Cody Bellinger. I would expect a similar contract for Bregman, something like that, where there's multiple opt out opportunities. Um, And like I said, I mean, we'll see. It could happen. It could not happen. We'll just have to see. But I'm okay if it doesn't happen. If the Chicago Cubs don't end up getting Alex Bregman, if he does choose to go somewhere else, even though it was reported that Chicago Cubs are his preferred spot to play, I mean, we'll just have to see. But all right, y'all. I'm finna hop up out of here. I got some stuff to do, and I got to go get ready for the We Book It wrestling podcast. Make sure you guys check that out. I don't know why I'm plugging that on a baseball podcast, but hey, listen, I appreciate everybody that joined the chat, that rock with your boy. Listen, I am constantly trying to bring y'all the best content week by week. And if you have any suggestions, please leave a comment below, send a message. You can leave a voicemail at 773-389-6954. You can email us at chicagobaseballcentral@gmail.com. I'm also setting up a specific Chicago Cubs email, so be on the lookout for that. I want to set that up so I can get the messages a lot sooner and everything like that. And then obviously we'll do mailbag shows on Saturdays as well. But I appreciate all of you so much. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. The Chicago Cubs have officially traded for Ryan Pressly. He will be the closer for the Chicago Cubs for the foreseeable future of the 2025 season. I'm your boy, Mike Jones, back with another episode. I appreciate you guys. Be on the lookout. Tomorrow morning, I'm dropping another episode for you. Make sure to like, share, subscribe to all your friends, everybody you know that loves Chicago Cubs, to rock with your boy. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you guys so much. Until next time, peace.